You want to know the fastest way to mess up a sale? I'm going to tell you the fastest way to mess up a sale. Go in and meet with a prospect and try to convince them that they need your product or service based on your terms and why you think they need it. That's the fastest way to mess it up. In Sandler training, we talk about an acronym, ANOT, A-N-O-T. I'm going to give you the substance of it. Maybe you could try it on your next sale. This is all about learning what the prospect actually needs from you, because your job as a professional is not to sell them a product or service unless you find out that they need it and that it matches what you have. That's our real profession. So when you sit down with somebody, let's start with A, appreciate. Rachel, I appreciate you having me in today. It means a lot that you asked me to come out and have this conversation. When we talked on the phone, I know you mentioned you were struggling a little bit with your folks and they're not really getting it done like they used to, and some things are just not working out like it used to be. So I know there's some things we need to talk about and kind of dig into some of that along the way. Then we want to talk about naturally, because naturally she's going to have some questions and she's going to have some things that she wants to learn from us. So I might say, Rachel, naturally you've probably thought about this meeting and how to spend our time together. And what I really want to know is, what do you want to get out of our time together today, so that this hour that we're going to spend, by the way, are we still good for an hour? You always want to check on time, because you know you walk in that meeting and they're like, hey, I've only got 10 seconds or I've only got 10 minutes. Make sure they're still good with the time you scheduled with them. I want to make sure that you learn what you need to learn and tell me a little bit about what you want to get out of our time together so that this is really beneficial for you. Then, obviously I need to learn about her. I need to learn about what's going on in her company and what are we really trying to accomplish here. And so I might say, so Rachel, obviously we've done some work in your world, and you know we get pulled in from time to time, and just because we have experience in your industry, that doesn't make me an expert in your four walls, okay? So I'm going to ask you some questions and dig into some things, but ultimately I think what we're trying to accomplish today is, let's just have a discussion and let's figure out if what you're looking for is something that we can or can't help you with. I don't want to assume just because I'm here that we should do business. I think that's a decision that you have to make, but use me for that. Use me to help you make the decision that makes the most sense to you, even if it's not to choose us. In other words, what I'm telling you is it's okay to tell me no. And then I move to T, which is typically. And Rachel, typically in a meeting like this, one of two things is going to happen. One, however you judge people. If I'm not tall enough to ride the ride, or however it is that you might judge people, you might not feel comfortable with me. You might not feel comfortable with what's going on. I just want you to be comfortable telling me no. If you don't think this is a fit, we can close the book, part friends, maybe come back to it another time. Would that be okay? And also, as easy as that could happen, there might be some things here that we need to dig in a little bit deeper. We decide to take a next step. And if we decide that's where we need to go and that's what makes sense to both of us, any problem with getting our calendars out and figuring out what that next step is so we can both commit to it and do the things we need to do to move forward, would that be something we could do? So in Sandler, that's how we set expectations, by using the acronym ANOT. It puts the prospect at ease and helps them feel as though they're going to make a good decision. Your job is to fill the gaps from that point forward to see whether or not your product actually fits what it is that they need. And I'm telling you, you'll get more business along the way if you make it about the prospect and not about you.